And we're back. Different setting. Super bright, right? And a whiteboard. That's crazy. Anyway, you have hit a fat loss plateau. You don't know what to do. Scales stop dropping. You're confused. You're stuck. That's what I'm here for. So first thing we got to decide is if you're actually in a fat loss plateau. And what goes into fat loss? Basically, super basic. Fat loss is just this acronym right here. Calories in, calories out. Basically, it just means the calories that you bring into your body, the food you eat, has to be less than the calories that your body uses for energy. That is fat loss in a nutshell. Very simple. Super, super simple. Don't overcomplicate. Now, if you want to get super specific, the things that go into your body actually using those calories for energy would be your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure. Now, this would be different based on a bunch of different factors. The biggest one being your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. That's essentially just your body existing. It's stuff like your heart pumping, uh, blood going through your veins, stuff like that. Next would be your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, your NEAT. That is essentially the small things you do subconsciously that contribute to your body using extra energy, like your feet tapping or your hands fidgeting or you tweaking. Yeah. And then on top of that, we have exercise activity thermogenesis. That is your cardio, walking, running, stairmasters, weightlifting, stuff like that. And then you have your thermic effect of food. That is what your body uses to break down the food that you eat. All of that goes into your TDEE, which is your calories out. So if your calories in is lower than your calories out, your TDEE, then you will be losing weight. So usually what I see in my clients most is they get very discouraged by the day-to-day weight fluctuations. And they feel like they've plateaued after 1, 2, 3, 4 days, 5 days maybe, of just stagnant weight. But you gotta realize that there's so many things that go into your weight fluctuating. Like everything right here. Water, your water intake. The more water you drink, the more water your body can hold on to because of sodium intake. If you have or if you eat a lot of sodium, your body can hold on to a lot of water. That'll increase your weight. It'll be water weight, but it'll increase your weight nonetheless, right? Same with carbs. If you eat carbs, a lot of carbs, your body will also hold on to more water. So carbs, a lot of sodium, a lot of water, it's all just being held in your body, okay? That increases your weight. Hello. And then digestion. If you eat, let's say right before you eat, or no, sorry. If you eat right before you sleep and you wake up and weigh yourself, your body hasn't had the time to digest all of the food. So you literally have more in your body, which is going to add to the weight on the scale. Sleep and stress, those go hand in hand. If you have not a lot of sleep, your body won't regulate itself well enough. It won't have enough recovery to aid your fat loss. And same with stress. And then you want to zoom out. Okay? You don't want to look at your weight every day as an indicator of if you're making good progress or not. It's good to weigh yourself every day just to see or just to use it as data, but you don't want to use it as the end all be all. When you weigh yourself every day and you calculate it throughout the weeks, throughout the months, you'll see a common trend. See, this is your weight and this is the time. Let's say over the span of a couple months, your weight will fluctuate a lot. It'll go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down, but the overall trend is going to be down. So this is the most important part. Most of you get stuck right here. And you say you're stuck. And you've hit a plateau. But you didn't take all of this into account. You didn't take all of this into account. So before you come here and say you're in a fat loss plateau, make sure your trend looks like this. And then if it stalls out, like if it's like this, and then it starts looking like this, then you've hit a weight loss plateau, okay? Right here, I have 0.5 to 1% body weight. This is what you should be shooting for when it comes to fat loss. The standard, what most people say, is you want to shoot for losing 0.5 to 1 pound per week. But that is not personalized. That does not account for the person. Because let's say a 300-pound person losing 1 pound per week is very, very slow compared to a 100-pound person losing 1 pound per week. A 300-pound person should not be losing at the same rate of a 100-pound person, okay? So a 100-pound person with this can be losing up to 1 pound a week. But a 300-pound person should be losing up to 3 pounds per week. So when you're saying you're in a fat loss plateau, look at this. Take your body weight, multiply it. Take your body weight, get 0.5 to 1% of it, and if you're not losing fat. So if your weight graph looks like this, and you have hit a weight loss plateau, here's the 3 steps that you're going to take to get through it. First, you're going to reevaluate. You're going to make sure you're tracking everything to the T. And if you're not tracking, there's your first problem. Get off this video and go start fucking tracking. Come back. You want to track everything. And you want to take into account things like your NEAT. So like your fidgeting and stuff. Because inevitably, when you lose weight, your NEAT is going to go down. So like your fidgeting, your foot tapping, it's all going to go down. So that's going to decrease your TDEE, which means your calories out will decrease. And it'll slowly start to match with your calories in, okay? So you got to reevaluate that. You got to reevaluate your mindless snacking habits. You eat 1 bite of ice cream and you're like, yeah, it's just 1 bite. But you eat 1 bite of ice cream 5 times throughout the day. And you do that every day for a week. And the whole pint is gone in a week. 1 whole pint of ice cream can be like, I don't know the nutrition facts of ice cream. I haven't eaten actual regular pint of ice cream in a long time, but I would assume like anywhere from like 600 to maybe even 1,000 calories if I'm being generous, okay? So that's an extra like 1,000 calories a week just on tiny little bites of ice cream. That adds up. Maybe you have other things you're snacking on too. So you gotta reevaluate everything. Make sure you're on your shit. Step 2, refeed. What a refeed is basically you going back to your maintenance calories for 1 day with all your extra calories coming from carbohydrates. So let's say you're at a 2,000 calories, or let's say you're eating at 2,000 calories, okay? And let's say your maintenance is 2,500. So you're eating at a 500 calorie deficit. What you're going to do is have a refeed day, and you're going to eat back at your maintenance calories, so 2,500 with those extra 500 calories coming from carbs. And then you go from there, okay? And then you just go straight back to your deficit and keep going. And if that doesn't help, then you're going to move on to step 3. Step 3, diet break. Most of you don't need this. This is usually for people who have been dieting for months and months and months. So what a diet break is essentially the same thing as a refeed, except you're doing it over the span of a week or 2. So you're going back to your maintenance calories, most of the calories coming from carbohydrates, and you're gonna stay at those calories for 1 to 2 weeks. Your weight will increase, and then it will stay steady, and then you can start to drop your calories back down from there. And then you'll start losing weight again. It's not easy, but it's super simple. So don't overcomplicate it, okay? These are the 3 steps that you need to take. Reevaluate, refeed. That doesn't work, diet break. That's basically all you need to know for getting through a fat loss plateau. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. And as always, if you want to work with me, I'll put a link in the description where you can book a call so we can talk.